1. We should be up and live. Let me minimize this.
Look at that on time start.
Don't jinx it.
Oh,
and the computer crashed.
Oh, hold on. We got to go back.
No.
No, not again.
Oh, what's up, guys? Another week of Role Control. Yeah.
That's mute
That's
your computer.
I knew this would happen.
We're just going to do that. So, no audio.
If you're getting speaker audio, it's going through the stream.
Oh. F, you're right.
I
Oh
think
my
it's going through
gosh.
the stream.
See, this is what happens when you guys make us start on time.
Ryan is so cool.
Oh boy, face palm.
We're great, guys.
Boom.
Yeah.
Alright, we're good. Now this
He's
just
right.
started?
Yep.
What?
That's right,
Alright,
that's right.
well, I can mute this one. Okay, cool. Now we're good. We're good to go. What's up, guys? One of these days, I'll figure out how to actually stream. It's not like I've been doing it for 3 years. Very professional. So, how's it going? Gio here, along with everybody else. We have a couple quick announcements.
Don't lump us
Jane.
together.
Hey, Jane Celdorton on Twitter, and I am going to be next week on another stream. So next Thursday at 4 p.m. Central, I'm going to be on Encounter Roleplay. That's all one word. Twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay. Playing in their viewer game. So come check that out if you're so inclined.
You should, if you remember, post that on Discord like a day before or so,
Yeah.
just to remind us.
Yeah, and
Even myself.
I'll mention it next week as well as a reminder. So next week, the 13th, I'll be on there.
Make sure to go pressure Jane because the future of this channel is now 100% on her shoulders and has nothing to do with any of us.
Oh
so.
boy. I'm also trying to decide, it's kind of a meat grinder campaign. You're supposed to die a lot and your character is already dead. It's Trials of Ball. So if you have thoughts about like what character I should play, like feel free to post that in Discord and I will take it under advisement.
You want Darcy?
Our Discord is actually starting to be pretty active. I really like it. I am interacting with probably 3 or so of you out there on an almost daily basis, trying to build campaigns, and I try not to spoil too much so that you guys are still surprised, but that you can also help and have input and see where you have influence into the game, and I think that's pretty cool, and it helps me, so win-win.
You can also watch Pokemon with me and Blurry anytime you want.
Wait, you guys are watching Pokemon without me?
It's
I'm
on
hurt.
twitch.tv/Twitch presents 24/7 right now. It's not.
Freaking Butterfree episode every time I think about it.
Okay.
I'll break down if it's a Pikachu episode.
They already had that.
Oh, good.
Alright guys, I think at this point we're going to hop into it. Last time, the group ended up getting kind of sent on a quest to recover some scrolls and if possible a magical hammer. Not much detail was given for either, except the location, which was lower, essentially. So they went down a mine, went deeper into the earth, came out into kind of an old abandoned city, came across a 3-armed, 3-legged with a big mouth kind of mutant monster.
Was it purple?
It was brown.
Oh.
And it was a good fight. Went underground and stuff, and the group had a lot of fun, I'm sure. And they were able to defeat the monster, even though it almost got away.
Fun, but that's not how I
But
define fun.
Anna was able to track it down and finish it. So
It's like the one time I hit that thing the whole fight.
I'm glad you
You
said that.
killed
'cause I was about to, and I'm
I
glad
got the
did
kill
not say it.
shot and literally nothing else. Hopefully my dice have forgiven me.
For whatever.
You brought it on yourself. We all know this.
And now we're going to hop back in right at where we were. The group, basically nothing else major was happening around. It was kind of silent, so they took a short rest for about an hour, hour and a half or so. And now we're picking right back up right there. So take it away, players. What do you want to do?
Well, I think we should probably keep looking.
I'm thinking we might want to check, like, the center of town, see if there's some sort of, like, governor's mansion or palace. Because the king did say it was in, like, the scrolls that he actually sent us here for were in, like, a study, not an actual library.
They're definitely gonna be somewhere fancy. That's
So
for
I'm
sure.
thinking we should try to find the governor's place, and we didn't really see anything quite fancy enough the direction we went. I
Sure.
don't know if you guys found anything.
Yeah.
Not really. We basically found a bar, and that's about
We
it.
found a bar and a monster.
Of course, you guys found a bar.
Yeah.
We found a storage room.
We're just pulled it. I mean,
To be fair, like it was really gloomy. We couldn't really tell what was going on.
We are underground.
We
It's a constant.
rolled a lot of single digits.
It's a constant darkness.
Luckily, we can all see in the dark.
I think that now that we know that there are hostiles down here, I think we should meet up every 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so.
I think we shouldn't split up.
You think so?
Yeah.
Was there any
that's the better
question
way.
that there would be hostiles down here?
I didn't think we thought they would be quite that
Hostile?
Angry?
big.
Gross?
Stupid?
Three-armed?
Ugly?
Yeah.
Grotesque.
Let's not
Yeah.
insult it in case it has friends.
I bet its friends are ugly too.
I hope they go after you first.
They probably will.
Anyways, I think we should hit the center of town and check, see if we can find some sort of governor's, king's
That seems fair.
place.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ground to cover, but with these types of creatures around here, it's not going to be a good idea for us to be split apart as far as we were.
No.
Yeah. A couple blocks, sure.
If
but-
we'd been even a block further, we might not have gotten to you guys in time.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how these things sensed us. You know, was it noise that was made? Was it smell? Was it? I mean, they obviously have big mouths,
Well,
but like other than that,
That one could go in and out of the ground.
Yeah, I wonder if it was
maybe it was
vibrations.
like like moles can feel
Yeah.
when you're moving around above them or
Yeah.
something.
But then, what would be the best way to get there without spawning more of these things?
Being quieter.
Yeah, if we can just be quieter, I
I'm
guess.
not really good at that.
I mean,
It's
We-
pretty much what you do.
Yeah, you are the sneaky one.
Man,
We didn't
also
get
not good at
anything on
the
our
sneaky
side,
You and I are
so-
sneaky, and
Hi.
Belchar is to some extent, and you are not.
You just stand still. We'll take it from here.
It'll
great. And when you find a language you can't read, you'll just bring the scroll to me?
probably.
Think about it. How much are they worth?
We don't know until we can read it.
Yeah, let's do
Usually,
that first.
yeah.
All right,
Okay, well
let's,
let's continue in and stay generally together.
and
Sounds
stay
good to me.
Generally silent. So I'm gonna be stealthing forward from here.
Yeah.
From
Okay.
here on.
Stealth checks.
Pass with hello. No, I can't. I burned it.
Oh, you're out.
I burned my
No.
I do get
Oh boy, this dice
yeah.
has
Yeah.
not forgiven me.
Nope, that's a
Mine
different
doesn't
thing.
either.
That was action search.
Fortunately, I have a better bonus than you do. I bet.
Yeah, a little bit.
10.
9.
That's with a +7. Keep in mind.
That's with a
Oh,
+5. I
I'm
got a
rolling
9.
stealth.
Here, hold on to that. For
I'm
me.
I mean-
moving on to that.
Don't bother using the advantage.
Well, the advantage just cancels out my disadvantage.
Oh sure, yeah, that's right.
Hey!
That's a. Oh, right, -2. That's a 9.
Hey, that's what I got with my +5.
18.
Okay. so
Can I ride on
Valchar
your
is like,
shoulders? Can I ride on your shoulders?
None of us are strong enough to carry you except for Wick.
so
You're a little
Valchar
too
kind
big.
of glides ahead and just kind of slowly like disappears a little bit, and then Sai is like, "I'm gonna do my Wick impersonation," and then it's like, "I want to do that too," and then Wick's like, "I'm gonna just walk."
for canon purposes, I do say that out loud before starting to walk, just so everyone knows.
I think you say that, and then I face palm so hard that it's like,
Oh.
it's
Why
like
don't
a
you guys,
cartoon.
everybody do perception checks.
Just rubbing my temples, just like.
Why do I associate
Oh my
with these
god!
Perception?
Okay.
Yeah, new dice. Dice jail.
Trying the
people? Really?
obsidian.
Already?
Uh
Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Perception?
That would be non-natural 20 for me.
huh.
14.
That's a 1 for those following
non-natural
along at
14.
home. We're starting off strong. I rolled a 4 and a 1.
We really need to talk to some charity about, or somebody about being like, hey, anytime we roll a natural 1, we'll donate $1 to you.
Anytime Anna rolls a natural 1.
Well, it's a good time to roll a natural one on an early perception.
Yeah.
check.
You just
Yeah,
don't notice
yeah.
something.
Defo.
Wick is actually the only person that sees really, really faint light coming from kind of the other side of the cavern. Like the whole... You guys are heading towards the middle, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you see on the other end that there's a little bit of light coming
Like,
from it.
so entrance across there. Okay.
Yep. across the way.
Well, the good news is I don't think it's a monster. The bad news is we're not alone.
What are you talking about?
What is it?
There's a light.
I don't.
It's all the way over there.
Sure.
Come on, I thought you had good dark vision.
I do.
elves
I
had
have
good dark
90 feet. What are
vision.
you talking about?
We have just been through a traumatic experience. If you could cut us some slack, that'd be great.
I got cut pretty deep.
Oh, how terrible for you.
Wait, but actually, what are you pointing out right now?
There's light.
If we look, can we see it?
After she points it out, then you take a second, you can see it.
Is
There's
it
a
like-
little faint light?
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
like flickering? Is it like
Pretty steady.
blue light, warm light?
Yeah, no, right, see
can't-
there. Just kidding.
You can't quite tell.
Okay.
It's really faint. You can see that it's a little bit of illumination at the other end.
Okay. Okay, good
Don't-
good eye.
Don't know if that means anything, but it's worth checking out over anything else we have so far.
No?
Know what?
Checking it out. That's an obvious sign that somebody is here.
Not necessarily. It could be like
If these things
the
are all
glow
around,
of
they
gold
could
or
have
something.
knocked something over, or I mean, there's a lot of reasons why something could be happening. I mean,
It could
you
be a
don't know.
fire that will eventually burn the scrolls.
Could be a magical gem. Maybe it just glows forever. I don't know.
I'm not saying we should go thundering in and see what it is, but it's worth having
Let's
a
go there
better
first.
idea.
Fine.
Not necessarily, but it's worth having a better idea.
I guess you're right.
I know.
Just
Sai raises up his hand.
Whispers.
On which one of us?
Yes.
Both. The answer is both.
The answer is cantrip.
Doesn't matter. That's the answer.
So I think we move forward.
Okay.
As stealthily as possible.
All right, you guys make it there, not very stealthy, with Valtar being silent in the lead. You guys make it closer to the light. It takes you, moving at like stealth, it's probably about 30 minutes of traveling. Lots of empty houses, empty shops, just random
I am
pillars.
still looking for any temples.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking around as I go.
I'm looking for any movement, but with my natural one, I don't know if that's relevant.
I am
But I'm doing
beelining it to that
A
place,
monster lands
and
on
I'm
your head
only
and then
looking
runs
at that
away. You
place.
just didn't notice it.
It's
Okay.
like when my dog
He's
doesn't
making your
notice
job
a
easier.
squirrel
The
around
rest
Yeah,
of us
right.
aren't.
Yeah, so you can make it as close as you want
Sweet.
over the amount of time. There aren't like many markings. There are things that look like they might be temples. You're not sure.
I'm marking where they are so that, like, on the
You
way
can
out,
make it
we
back.
could, yeah.
Okay, sure. And you can just say how you want to approach, and I'll give you as many details as I can.
I'd say if once we get to like a block away, it pretty much just start really sneaking up as opposed to just quietly walking.
Okay.
Mhm.
Really sneaking up and like trying to get a beat on exactly what this light source is.
Okay, so are all four of you sneaking up like that? Or
I'll be doing the same thing because I don't know what the rules say, but I don't think I know what
You don't
I'm
know
stealthy
how
or
you're
not.
sneaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be
Yes.
assuming that I'm super stealthy
Yep.
and gonna be going.
Me
Wick,
too.
however, does know she makes noise.
Okay,
Rules or not, she
Right.
knows she clanks.
so you're gonna stay back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna be about a block away, and then just like kind of just watch. as
Watching
they-
and ready to go forward
Okay,
if I need
sure.
to.
Yeah, maybe like some fabric of mine catches on a nail or something. That kind of thing.
So you guys actually get to see it's emanating out of a cave in the wall, and it looks like to answer your question earlier, it looks like sunlight. It's and actually, the three of you do another perception check. See details.
That's been progressively getting lower.
There we go.
I'm not even
6
anymore. 9.
18.
Okay, you guys see the sunlight, and it's like
Thank you,
okay.
Obsidian.
You can actually see that there's kind of a distinct growth of plant life, like grass and small shrubs that are kind of growing out of the cave.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we've got plants. This looks like sunlight. I mean,
Is the
Yeah.
Do you think
sunlight
this is
emanating?
a way out?
Is the sunlight emanating from it or shining on it?
It's coming out of the cave.
But so is it shining on these plants or is it from the plants? Out?
It's like shining from the cave out.
Okay.
And
Well, I guess we should go check out that cave. At the very least, we can check it off our list. Now that we know that it's not a person.
I'm a little nervous about just plant life existing this far down.
But I mean, if the sunlight's coming from somewhere, if it is sunlight, which I
Yeah.
think it is, it's coming from somewhere. I mean, we might be close to the outside, which would be nice to know what this leads to once we find these things, in case we need to make a hasty escape.
That would be weird, though, right?
Feels like we went
we're
down a long way.
pretty
Yeah.
far down. So something's going on in here, and there's a possibility it might come and get us if we don't go in. So we could at least take a look.
I know none of this.
Yep. You're just waiting.
Yep.
But we need to look through this city to see if we can find this scroll or maybe this hammer.
Do you think that's worth doing before exploring whatever this is?
I think we should probably figure out what this is, but not stray too far from the city.
I would agree with that.
So,
Yeah, I'm down with that plan. Yeah. Should we get Wick?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go grab her.
You guys can go grab her and bring her to where you are. Yep. Okay.
Whoa, plant life.
Yeah.
That's
And
not something you see this far
Looks
down.
like something like sunlight.
Definitely not something you see this far down.
I don't recognize the plant life, do I? Like, this is the
Do
something
you know anything
vine
about
of-
this stuff?
It's like grass, like
Okay,
generic stuff that grows on the surface.
Can I do a nature check to see if I can figure out how it's growing down here?
Well,
Sure.
We're
I'll
pretty sure
give
it's
you-
sunlight,
yeah.
right?
You can. If you want to do an nature
Figure,
check.
yeah.
You might not find out a lot.
There's grass.
No.
What's grass?
Oh, look, it's grass. Yeah, that makes sense down here.
That was a 1.
Natural
one.
I'm gonna stick by that cave opening and just kind of tossing
So
stones into the
So
grass.
it kind of there's a cave and it's kind of filled with grass inside and it spills out a little bit, kind of like in a circle around where the light goes, and there's kind of a distinct point where it stops.
I think Wick would just start walking into and looking at the grass.
Okay, so you're walking on the grass.
Yeah.
If I see where the sunlight doesn't look up, is there like a hole there, or?
No hole. It's coming from in the cave.
Well, in we go, I guess.
Is the sunlight warm?
Hold on, I want to find out what the other three are doing while you're walking into the grass.
Okay.
I guess I would look out for like traps or anything out of place or anything like that. Any
So you're gonna
wildlife.
stay on the outside and kind of look around.
I would kind of go up to the mouth of it and kind of look in. I think.
So you're going on the grass to go because it spills out of the cave like a couple feet. So if you want to look in the cave, you're gonna have to go.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, no.
I'll say, hey, you keep an eye out here. Yell if you need anything. I'm gonna go in with them. You want to keep watch just in case anything.
Stay
Shows up.
outside, but you're going in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While they went to go grab Wick, I was throwing like stones into the grass
Okay. Nothing happens. Just
Okay.
the stones kind of bounce like they would on grass.
just to see if anything like. So.
Venus
Nothing like
flytraps.
that.
Yep. Other than that, I'll walk in, but behind everyone.
Okay. So everybody's going into the grass.
Yes.
That's what it
Yes.
sounds like. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You make that sound very foreboding.
Well, I just need to know where everybody
So
is.
you're touching this specific blade of grass. Sure.
I need everybody to do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Yay, there
no.
it is. There it is. Yep.
Oh, hey, look.
Oh no.
Let's hope.
Wait, is
It went up.
this magic?
Yes.
Then I have advantage. That was worse.
But you got to see.
True.
You got to try it.
That's a 9 for me.
I have advantage versus plant life, so I'm just gonna. No, I'm just kidding.
They are
11.
in dice jail.
Is it a charm?
No.
Okay.
Is it
So
asleep?
then,
No. No elf ability will apply.
Okay.
But gnome cunning does.
Can I
So
see
then-
it using dark sight?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's a 16 for me.
Okay, so the three of you walk in. You kind of feel a little, like you're walking from water into the air. It kind of like you have a weird feeling throughout your body, but no adverse side effects at the moment.
Okay.
You just kind of walk through and it's like, but you're unaffected completely. So,
Is the sunlight warm?
if you stand in it for a few seconds, yeah, it's a little bit
Okay.
warm.
So it feels like real sunlight.
Yes.
After passing through this, I'm guessing it feels like some kind of barrier. What kind of barrier, I don't know, but like some kind of, like a wall.
Right.
If I look around, does everything still look the same?
Yes.
Did anybody else feel that?
Feel what?
I mean, kinda. But
Yeah.
it was probably just like. I mean, obviously there has to be some sort of magic for there to be grass growing down this far and sunlight reaching us. Though it feels nice. This is real sunlight.
And you guys all smell kind of the scent of lavender. It's really appealing and nice.
I'm very confused as to what all of this is.
Yeah,
It's kind of nice though.
I feel like underground
Kinda
shouldn't
suspicious.
It's
smell
very
this
suspicious.
good.
Very suspicious, right? Alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up my short swords and just be like, it's good to just be ready, just in case. I can always.
So let's hope that this is where the city went. That's on best case scenario. Worst case scenario is we're all dead.
Doesn't sound too
Yeah.
How'd we die?
Okay.
By passing through
We'll
that.
see if we can find a happy medium somewhere in there. Yep.
happier than dead. Let's just say that.
Just maimed.
Still coping.
Yep.
Well, do you guys, should we go in further then, or what do you think?
I want to find out what the source of this sunlight is.
I do too.
I do
Let's keep
too.
going.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
again, we need to remember how to get back.
Right.
I'll stay towards the back then.
I have a.
I got rid of all of
I have a
my
couple
shit.
feet, or not a couple. I think I have 20 feet of rope in my thieving tools.
I have 50 feet.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
So one of us should somehow attach this rope to the entrance and just carry it with us as we go. And then we can just pull ourselves back if we need to. Is there
I
anything
do
that-
not have the rope because I left that back on the bed.
Is
We're
there,
going to the cave.
are there any signposts or any way to fasten it to the
Soak
wall?
the
Or...
Oh, you could find a rock to tie it around.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that. I'm gonna tie it around and I'll check how many feet I have, but I'm just gonna walk with it,
Yeah.
like in my hand, just kind of
Okay.
stripping it out as I go.
And I mean,
I,
if you guys attach your ropes together,
Yeah, I'll hand you mine as well and say, alright, if you need it,
Yeah.
like...
that's fine.
Got rid of the water skin, the tinder box, the torches, the mess kit, the rope, and the set of common clothes.
Literally,
So you
the
got rid
survival
of
kit.
all
Yeah.
of the things that are useful underground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fortunately, none of that sounds useful in a cave.
In a dark cave. Under a dwarven city. Great.
No, but you have
Good job, team.
you have a tiefling who can make light, make water. Not today.
That was
You
not the
only
case when
start-
I got rid of my water
You're
skin.
only thirsty for one day.
I can
and-
purify food. Can't create it.
Yeah. Cool.
I also always figured you guys would have that stuff, and I needed the room in my bag for the scrolls.
You're a funny one, Wick.
I have 50 feet of hempen rope.
Hemp.
Yes. Yes, we can get high off from
Smoke
our
that
rope.
DM will
That's
allow
what
it.
it's for.
Oh yeah.
You just cut up a chunk and it's like
Except
you
that
got a
the
cigar.
oil is gone already.
DM says the oil's not gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not a very good rope then.
DM is an enthusiast.
Damn, my boy.
Okay. Who's heading in? I think I will stay back at the mouth of the cave because I'm ranged anyway.
Do you wanna hold on to the hemp and I'll pull it a couple times if we need you to?
Sure.
If you want you to
Okay,
pull
so the
forward?
Yeah.
cave kind of curls down, and you can see plant life growing up along the sides, but it's pretty thick grass leading down.
How tall is the grass?
It's like it's like a foot at most.
So it's like
It's
a
not
third of
super
your
Yeah, it's
height?
about a third of
How
my
far off
height
the walls
then.
does it go?
Probably about 2/3 of the way. It doesn't go all the way around and encircle it.
So quite a bit higher than the regular grass does.
Yeah.
Wick is still going in.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess just pull on the rope a couple times and I'll come in if you need me.
Yeah, I'll give it a yank.
Oh
Where are
boy.
my D20s?
We're gonna move past
Where are my 20 rolling D20s?
Yeah, where are the good
Somewhere far, far away.
Oh look, roll the
they've
20.
Oh look, they've accidentally been
2 20s.
confiscated. I don't know who did
I put it in
that.
the garbage disposal after the last session. With great power comes great responsibility, Tyler.
So the three of you are going down the cave.
Everyone but Anna.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
I
a
think that.
stain.
three of you.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. You guys start heading down. You see it gets a little bit more dense the further you get down as the sunlight is kind of bouncing off the walls and the like it's not as lit at the top, but it gets more and more lit. It's not to the point where it's blinding you or anything.
You just walked out of darkness.
Does it-
So.
Well, okay. I mean, if you stay on the top while you're talking, your eyes
Would have
adjusting,
adjusted,
but
yeah.
Does the source feel like does it feel like the light's source is ahead of us, or does it feel like this light is just here somehow? Like, you know, if you're staring, like if you're walking towards a lamp, you can tell that the light is coming from that lamp. Can we tell where the light is coming from, or is it just like the light is coming from up there, or it's just here for some reason?
It's just emanating from
A
everywhere.
little bit of both. It's here, but it's deeper down the further you go.
Okay.
So there are like shadows off the rocks.
Right.
And things like that. Okay.
Mm.
How far are we in?
So you guys are starting to head down probably about 80 feet or so. And you guys start to see kind of an opening into a larger area.
Are there any flowers?
There are a few flowers.
I'm picking them.
Okay.
Oh no!
Just kidding. Nothing happens. You just picked a flower.
Unfortunately, the flower crit you, and you're passed out. Again.
Actually, everyone's past that.
Oh man.
Even Enna, who's not anywhere near.
So you guys can keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. You enter and you see kind of a big opening. There's a rather large cottage-looking like thing that's near the middle and the back, and there's some rows of crops, and there's a hunched figure kind of digging in the crops.
I immediately stop and like I was mid braiding the flowers together. Nope. I just stop and drop the flower crown I was working on.
I'm gonna, like, as soon as I see this figure, I'm gonna, like, it opens up, but is there something, like, to hide behind near the opening?
Not really.
Not really.
Like,
I'm just
further
gonna
up
kind
the
of
cave.
put my back up against the side of the
You
cave.
can try to kind of hide behind the brush a little bit,
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
vines and stuff.
And just kind of look at the other two and just go, like,
I'm going back. Back.
Just a medium prone.
yeah.
Okay, so you're hiding and you're backing up.
Yeah. I don't trust a person down here this far with farm and
If
stuff.
if I look kind of around the corner, what does the figure look like? It's hunched over.
It's hunched over, digging kind of in the dirt with its back facing you.
What's it wearing? What kind of clothes is it wearing?
It's wearing a black cloak.
Of course it is.
Of course. It's sorry, it's my DM style. It's what I like. I like having mystery.
I bet it's a good guy.
Wearing a white cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Underneath
Just
it.
throw a dagger at him. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna whisper to the rest of the group. Do you think we should try to stealth forward and find out?
I mean, I think
Who this person
sneaking would be
is?
the wrong idea.
Yeah.
We either need to go back and pretend this never happened, or we need to approach in a friendly and open manner without our weapons drawn. This could
Without
just
any weapons drawn?
maybe close to being ready to be drawn.
I mean, here's my thing. What if this being has the hammer or the scrolls? I mean, if it lives so close to that area, you think that this creature, this person or creature would have pilfered for valuables, and these things seem valuable.
It's a good possibility.
I mean, I would hate to go back and look for something that was right here in front of us this whole time.
I'm more thinking along the lines, whoever this person is very strong magically. Look at what we've been walking in. This isn't natural. There's no way there'd be an entire farm down here.
As an elf, would I know how, like, would I know how powerful somebody would have to be to create something like this? Would I have any idea? Like, would it be like, oh yeah, this would be easy, like an adept could do it, or is this like a master wizard would be needed for this kind of stuff? Like,
roll an intelligence.
That is Arcana. You could be checking.
Yeah, roll your Arcana check. That's good.
16. That's the best it's going to get today, so keep in mind that's a 20 for me.
You know this isn't basic level stuff. You're not exactly sure what it is, but the person is...
It's somewhere between intermediate and incredibly powerful.
Yep.
It might be a druid, in which case us having our weapons drawn would be seen as a straight up attack, no matter if we're actually attacking or not. I mean, that could be the case for anybody, but druids could make the plants attack us.
Alright, well, why don't we get Enna in here and maybe you're not here yet. Okay. I might just like drop the rope and leave you back there. But maybe you should go forward first, being, well, you are, I think that even Valchar could say you are the nicest of us, so if it is you probably are less likely to give the wrong impression than anybody else.
We're gonna talk about that later, but sure.
Okay, I'm gonna yank on the rope a couple times.
Okay, I'm like, oh, all right.
Pull it in. It wasn't that signal.
No, I don't. That was a signal for I need to come down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's So I start coming down.
So while this place is super suspicious, I mean, look at this. Like,
Oh my god, what if it's not real?
didn't think about that.
Thanks for making me super paranoid.
We could be walking into a trap where the trap is we think that there's land and then there's not, and so we step forward and then we die.
Hey Valchar, you go first.
Pick up a rock.
Okay.
But someplace like this that wouldn't normally exist, honestly, this looks like an oasis. Somebody who's just trying to survive down here and can't get through.
It definitely doesn't look like something that an evil thing would do.
Right.
Alright, let's wait till Anna's here and then we'll all go in together.
I can show up. It wasn't that far.
Hey, what's up?
I point towards
I'm being quiet. Hey, what's up?
What up, everybody? Are we hanging out?
Leroy Jenkins.
Is that person a beer? We found that, and I just kind of point towards the being.
The farming being. Gardening.
What crops does?
Oh, that's a
what
good
kind of
question.
plants do they have?
Roll a nature check.
We need a druid.
We're in the mountains, right?
We distinctly
That's
need a druid.
That's a 15.
You're not exactly sure what the
I have
crop
a
is
good
because
nature
it's not something that you recognize.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks kind of like corn.
Corn.
It looks like edible, probably. So maybe
Alright, well,
Cornish.
Don't need any of it.
Cornish hens. You know.
Oh.
No, not actually that.
No. Fairy. It could be a fairy.
Only one way to find out. Let's go.
Yeah. Why don't? So has it noticed you guys?
Well, if it has, it hasn't acknowledged us.
It's just still toiling away, right? I keep saying it. Like, if this is going to be like a super nice, friendly thing, then I'm going to feel kind of bad. But what are you, creature?
It's a fairy. But then we definitely shouldn't eat or drink. If it's a fairy, don't eat or drink anything it offers you.
Well,
Isn't
we don't know
that
if it's
kind of
fairy
rude?
yet.
It's a gift, and
Alright, I promise I will not eat anything it offers me.
Or drink.
drink.
There's
Two
not.
halves to that.
Eat or drink.
Huh?
You can't eat or drink.
What's that?
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just gonna sit with my back against the wall. Just, oh my god.
Anna kind of looks around. She's
Why am I
like,
still here?
"Let's just go say hi and see what the deal is."
Okay.
Alright, who wants to go first?
I thought I was.
Of course you are.
Well, let's go together.
Okay.
Alright, I'll sheath my weapons and start walking in.
Okay.
With,
So all
with
four.
everyone else.
Yeah.
Hail and well met.
It's about time.
Oh, that's not creepy.
You were
No.
talking for quite a while. What do you need?
We're sorry, we just didn't expect you in a place like this.
Yeah, how did you make these beautiful
Has the figure
this
turned
beautiful
around at
plant
all?
life
It
grow?
turned its head to you guys.
What do we see?
You see a very old-looking woman.
Okay.
You're not exactly. Yeah.
Is that
need a
made of
perception.
gingerbread? Type that.
Right.
You don't know. You roll the one.
I don't know.
15.
Anything.
You can't actually.
Perception. 11.
The female doesn't look like any race you guys know, or have seen, but it's closest to a human. So.
It's probably a fairy.
How
Well,
did
I
you
rolled a
make
20, by the way.
such
Not natural, but I rolled a 20.
What for what?
The
Perception.
Okay. That's pretty much what you
Cool.
you know.
Just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything more.
Unless you're trying to look for something particular about something else. Okay.
how did you make such a beautiful garden and beautiful vegetation grow down here? Where's the sunlight coming from? This is amazing.
Well, it's quite simple. It's just you must be one with the arts, and for those who roll a higher perception, you see that her fingers are considerably longer than normal when she kind of waves her hand.
Define higher perception. More than a 1?
Yes.
Yes.
More than 11?
I like 15 plus.
Okay, so I didn't see it. I don't notice it.
Because you guys aren't that close yet.
Good.
You sure were talking for quite a long time over there.
We weren't sure if it was polite to come into your home.
No, come in, come in.
I'm Brina Eliwick Rowan Tivers. You can call me Wick.
Oh, you can call me Wick as well. Or my friends call me Valchar.
I pull my weapons.
And some people call me Sai.
Of course they do. Who are you?
Just a poor young woman down here, surviving. Who are you?
I think you know who I am, don't you?
Come into my home and pull your weapons on me?
Of course. You know more than you're letting on.
Maybe.
Obviously. No, maybe.
How long have you lived here? This cottage is lovely.
Quite some time. A couple hundreds of years.
Wow. I expect you've seen some changes with the city. Do you know what happened in the city up there?
It's a long story. I don't want to get into it.
I like stories.
I moved in once it was already empty.
Do you know of what occurred up there? What made it empty?
Maybe sometime if we become closer friends, I will tell you that story.
I look forward to it.
Well,
We're just
I'm-
gonna breeze over that. Just double checking. Make sure we're on the same page.
Wake is just like, I'm not calling her out on it. I'm not gonna call her out on it.
my name is actually, well, you wouldn't be able to pronounce it, but the dwarves call me Penny.
Penny.
I'll put my weapons away.
It's nice to meet you, Penny. We've actually been sent to find some scrolls from the city.
For who?
The King of the True Sword sent us.
Of course.
You know the True Swords, then?
I know the comings and goings of the squabbling little dwarves.
So you must go higher up? Because the True Swords, as I've been led to believe, are a relatively new clan.
I have no need to go up. Information comes to me.
Okay. How?
That's none of your business.
I was just curious.
I know you are.
Okay.
Have you seen any of these scrolls or this hammer? If not, we'll be on our way.
Some of these scrolls? She pulls out some scrolls.
Yeah, probably those.
I know something of them.
Well, we need them. Want them? I don't know which is better.
We would be interested, perhaps, in trading or purchasing them.
She pulls out her fingers, and it's kind of disturbing how long they are, and they just
How long are they, like, compared to normal fingers? Like, double, triple,
probably about like
50%
2
longer?
to 2.5 times as long.
It's pretty obvious.
Pretty, yeah, quite obvious to everyone now. When she starts doing, like, you guys are closer, everyone is able to notice that.
And what does
Do I
her
know?
face look like? I mean,
Kind of humanish, but more pointed features, kind of like an elf.
does she look old? Or?
Old. She looks
As-
really old.
As an elf, would I have heard of anything that would fit this description?
You have rumors and guesses, but nothing that you're like, I know what this is.
I'm assuming I'm probably along the same lines from
Right.
my books.
How many of those rumors or guesses would be a good thing that we're sitting in front of this thing? Like, is it like, oh yeah, you know, it could be a demon or a, you know,
A friendly whatever.
right,
I'm
like
90% sure she's talking
like, are
to
we
a fairy.
50-50 here, or are we like 70-30 on evil?
Some sort of fake creature. at least.
Roll a intelligence check then.
I just gave
9.
it my name.
Oh, was that? I thought that was a 1.
Oh,
No, that's 7.
Oh, okay.
You think probably 50-50.
50-50. Okay. I'm gonna keep my hands like on my belt. Obviously not like grabbing the hilts of my weapons, but like
The face.
Ready to go quick.
ready to go in,
Yeah,
case,
buttons.
in case it
No.
happens.
Well, your first name is Noah.
I don't.
Well, Penny.
Well, why don't you share with everyone what you're talking about?
Oh, I was just wondering if you're a fae.
No, dear. I'm
Oh.
not a fae.
I just figured with your ability to grow plant life down here and your network of resources, it seemed very fae-like.
I don't know if I'll be insulted or complimented by that.
I think we're all impressed by
I wasn't intending it as an
Your-
insult.
garden and ability to make a lovely place down here. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you have any interest in trading or selling any of those scrolls? We sure could use them.
Well, let me be frank with all of you. You killed one of my dearest pets,
Oh no.
Oh.
which doesn't make me happy. But it does prove that you're strong. I think it is deserved that you guys help me create another pet.
Valtra's immediately looking around his surroundings, like paranoid. Like, there's a word that I was looking for there, so I'm just gonna change it to paranoid. Like,
What?
It still sees the same. You don't see any creatures or anything coming out.
How do we help you create one?
Oh, well, to do something like that again, I would need a few creatures from the Underdark brought to me. A little decayed is fine, but mostly intact.
You mean dead creatures?
If that's what you prefer, I can make that work.
If we brought you the body of the one that we killed, would that help?
No, that one is gone.
Do your pets routinely attack any visitor?
Well, yes, they give me my food.
I'm sorry, your food?
Oh, yes.
They-
If you want the scrolls, I will trade them for a substantial amount of food.
Y'all, I didn't bring my rations with.
What kind
No, I
of
did bring
food
rations.
do you eat?
Well, someone like that would do. Points at Wick.
I stand in front of Wick.
Excuse me? I'm not food. I'm a gnome. We're not edible.
Oh, I beg to differ. But you've proven yourselves quite strong, and I'll let you keep your lives and go and find me additional food.
if we find you this additional food, can we wander the city uninterrupted?
That would be a fair bargain. You can take what you wish.
Would you mind if I talk with my friends?
Go ahead. She goes back to digging up in the ground and...
She wants to eat me?
So are we gonna...
I'm nudging towards the mouth of the cave.
Yeah. That's where I was pushing everybody.
Yeah, we would just fall back.
Mhm.
She is not going closer to this tree. Nope.
Like, to where there's no grass.
Oh.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
don't go too far.
The grass probably has ears.
If you guys are starting to leave kind of the main room and back into the cave,
Mhm.
she'll turn and say that.
I don't think we can just leave.
I figure this conversation is best if we don't have all ears on us.
Well, that doesn't seem to be my problem.
So we're going to make it so that we don't have ears on us.
Please be careful with your phrasing.
If you wish.
Nope.
I'll start heading out the cave.
Okay. Okay, you can head out the cave.
Just Velcha or all of us?
Yeah.
Did everybody
I
go
follow.
with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I follow.
You
Yeah,
guys can all make
okay.
it.
I don't want to be eaten.
So,
Well,
So I believe, because that person, creature, whatever, did not know your name, or at least didn't say it, and we all felt something as we passed through, I have a feeling that whatever we felt was that creature knowing at least our name.
I think she knew more than our name.
we need to make a decision, though.
I don't want to be food.
I also do not want to help this person.
I don't really want to either, but I mean, it seems like the alternative is taking these things by force, assuming that those scrolls were even real. I don't even...
if that's her pet,
Yeah.
somebody has to apparently build a pet. We'll skip right on past that, but build a pet, train a pet, and be able to control a pet.
I assume part of that, the build or the control part, is part of the building.
Probably.
Because
Maybe.
if everything is already dead, then you have to
That's
reanimate
true.
it.
Yeah, I guess, would that fall under necromancy?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the problem. Clearly, we're not just going to be left alone. We've bought ourselves a little bit of time, but my guess is that if we don't make amends in her mind, then we're
It's not going to be easy to
in
get out of here.
some kind of trouble.
Do we want to make another trouble for us, though?
Not at all, but
She did say if we do this thing for her, she will let us wander the city
And-
without interference.
And you trust her?
I don't want to be food.
different people and different creatures hold to bargains differently. I mean, Fae are typically going to keep to at least the letter of a bargain.
Very, very, very strict
Specific
letter. Of the
letter.
bargain.
But other creatures aren't going to take it that seriously or are based on deception, and we don't know what she is.
If those were the real scrolls, we need to decide whether we go into the Underdark and help this person,
Did
or
anyone get a glance at the scrolls? A good glance
not
at how they looked or what they
really.
said?
I was too busy looking around, making sure that we weren't.
Could be
getting-
an illusion.
It is a possibility.
I mean, but still, we could try to walk these ruins for some more time, but
Did
we
you
risk being
carry
attacked again.
anything that you picked out?
No, I dropped the flower crown when I saw the creature.
Okay.
The being.
We either need to help this being, or we need to
Be
not
prepared.
help this being and be prepared to either fight them or fight their minions. Which, if that last minion, if there's a lot more of those,
We're
that
gonna
one kind of
lose.
gave us a run for our money. So,
Mm-hmm.
do we help or do we?
I'm pretty tapped out, so
I think either way we would.
I've never been to the Underdark, so I don't even know what we're getting into.
The Underdark tends to be filled with, from stories I've read, there are, of course, drow and bigger, meaner dwarves.
Yeah, dark dwarves and
Yeah.
dark elves. Yeah.
And there are other creatures down there.
I've heard rumors of like frog people.
That might be kind of fun.
It's I haven't been there, but what I've heard is you don't come back the same.
Right, but if you're tapped out, I would much rather a snatch and grab of a dead thing seems a little bit easier than trying to
Fight.
escape here with scrolls and or hammer and
Or lives.
Take on
and
a-
our lives.
Take on this being
I mean,
potentially.
we need to gauge that.
Well, we could always see if we can, as much as I hate to say this, spend the night and then go find her new pet.
I have a feeling that this time that we have is borrowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also wonder if we decide that we do want to fight with her, take her on, do we really want to build her reinforcements before we do that?
Well, if we build her reinforcements, we're not going to be fighting her. It's one or the other.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, so-
Not immediately. If she
If-
holds to her bargain, which
if
we,
those-
again, we don't know.
If those scrolls were a fake and we go into the Underdark for this thing, somebody's gonna have to hold me back if we go through all that and we don't get any scrolls out of it.
Once she knew my name, I immediately distrusted everything she said.
I 100%
Even-
agree.
Even showing those scrolls, I don't trust. Like, if it wasn't an illusion, it could have just been paper.
We essentially have no proof that she'll hold to her bargain.
So we get proof. We
What's-
get one scroll in good faith.
How do we get to the Underdark?
Not sure she seems like a good faith kind of broker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she can tell us how to get to the Underdark.
That's probably true.
Because that'll only help her.
But I mean, if we have a scroll and she seems to be pretty fluent in going into the Underdark, it'd be easy for her to get it back
I could
if something were to happen to us down there.
help us with the good faith part? Maybe?
What do you mean?
Well, apparently I can be persuasive when I want to be. Especially with a little, help.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
time
you
to
saw
decide.
how well
Mhm.
it worked with the guard.
Time to decide. Underdark or not.
I think it comes down to Underdark or we have to run right away. And if we run right away, the king basically told us, don't come back.
Right.
I'm not for going to the Underdark to help this creature create more hell for someone else. Even if we're allowed to hang around the city.
So we try to take this thing on.
Not as we currently are, but yes.
We're in a bad state right now.
We couldn't take her on if we wanted.
We don't know that.
I mean, if we don't take her on, we don't do the Underdark thing, then we escape now. There's really no other options. So, I mean, those are the two options. I mean, we killed her pet, so we can. I mean, as you heard her as we were walking out.
The only thing that I could think of is we accept her offer, and then we come back tomorrow from the Underdark with nothing.
But stronger. Not as hurt.
I mean, I'm doing better, but...
Not perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think you are either. Yeah.
That's the only way I could see us buying more time and not actually helping create another monstrosity.
Do we want to be double-crossing powerful magical entities?
I mean, it seems like it'd be almost as easy to just fight her
Or...
than try to double cross her.
Not at this moment.
Not right. I mean,
She seems pretty perceptive. I don't know.
can we sleep in the Underdark? I've never been there. I know very little about it.
We would definitely want to be setting up watches. But
Right.
yes, it's the same as any dangerous place.
Let's go there and see how much sleep we can get, see how much better we feel, and go from there.
If we help her, she owes us.
Again, if she takes that sort of thing seriously.
We can...
I want you. Who would be experienced here in reading enemies, like just vision? I think Sai and Anna, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys roll intelligence checks?
Or
Like
intelligence or
insight?
insight?
Insight.
Okay.
Well,
13.
sure, insight.
Okay. That makes it an 18.
Sai's not sure. You were quite. You're in your. You've come up with multiple people. You've seen how they react when you approach them, or when others approach them. This creature didn't seem threatened by you at all, by your group. It just ignored you when you were there. You're pretty sure it knew you were there. Didn't care.
We need powerful allies. If we can figure out a way to make some sort of binding contract wherein we get her a new pet and she has to help us when we call on her.
You want a contract with that?
Are we all okay if we help her find this new pet? Are we okay with the knowledge that that pet might kill people like us that come down here? I mean, we'd basically be killing a gnome-eating machine.
To be fair, I don't know how many gnomes come down here.
Dwarves probably
Dwarves.
do as well.
I'm not okay with that.
I'm not okay with that either.
I don't mean to be very contradictory, but I am not okay with this creature stitching together multiple other creatures to have a pet, as she put it.
Well then.
Honestly, the pet itself wouldn't bother me so much as the pet hunting people
Yeah.
for food. If it just hunted animals, honestly, I would just do it.
Yeah.
The
Everybody
food
gotta
it was
live.
hunting for wasn't for it.
But that's what I mean. If it was just hunting for animals for her, I mean, that's a cycle of life. I'm fine with that.
So, this is where we're at. I don't think we're gonna get any more insight on this thing. Either we help this thing that none of us trust and don't know if it delivers or if we can still escape, or we take this thing on and, I mean, I have no idea how powerful this thing is, so
I say we do what Velchar said.
might as well flip a coin.
Another option is to just work on this borrowed time and see if we can find this stuff and try to get out of here quickly.
What if she really does have it, though?
Then we're not gonna find it. We didn't see a hammer, to be fair. Not that that's
The
what
hammer
the main thing we're
may
looking for.
not exist.
I
That
know.
was rumored.
I know.
It sounded like there were a lot of scrolls, though, right? Like a library of them.
Not all of it may be useful.
Yeah.
And she did say study. Study could be small.
I'm just saying, I don't know how quickly she's going to come after us.
I doubt we're going to be able to sleep
Agreed.
unless we agree to something.
And then back on it.
However, as you brought up, just to throw a great wrench in this, if we're talking about contracts, and this entity is one that holds to it, then, and we back out.
That would be very, very, very bad. Especially because I gave my full name.
So,
You tend to do that
Yeah,
pretty,
why
pretty
do you always
lackadaisically.
do that?
Because you don't usually meet fey creatures.
We're out in the wilds.
Do you want me to give you a list of aliases? I'm okay at that.
Yeah, we can come
Might
up
be-
with
might
some,
be
like,
easier.
aliases for you.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
guys
Very
want to give
easy.
me a nickname, you can.
Would you still introduce yourself as your full name?
Probably.
Then it's
How
not worth
about Wiki Wiki Wah?
it. I like that.
Yeah,
New
it's a good one,
nickname.
right?
Done.
Yeah. Wiki Wiki Wah.
That's not how.
Wiki
Nah.
Wiki Wah, what do you think about the situation?
I think I'm going to
Wiki
see if I
Wiki
can
Wah,
feed
do you want to
her.
do?
I'm going into a building.
We need to make a decision though, actually.
I would say, Valchar
I
actually
say-
went into a building he just did.
I say we flip a coin. Betray this thing and see what we can do, or
Try and do what we can
do
with
what it
our...
says and hope we
There
get
are
something out of
3
it.
options, though.
What's the third?
We run right now, but that means we lose
We
out on the
lose true
dwarves.
swords. Yep.
At least until after the whole thing, and I don't know how well that would be received if we came back. And she could track us.
I think we try to take this thing.
Okay, then do we try to take it now,
No.
or do we...
No, if Valchar is spent, then it's not worth it.
Okay, so we go in there and
Let's go
we accept,
I mean,
and then come back tomorrow morning?
if this thing knows that we are accepting but not truly accepting, then we
We're
don't really lose anything anyways, because that's the alternative. And if we're not willing to help it, then those are the 2 options. So we don't really lose anything by trying.
Okay.
All right, let's go back.
I don't like the idea of reneging, but...
Wait, before we go back, we can, if we phrase it carefully, and it does happen to be a fake being, we can still win. We have to say something like, we agreed to go in the Underdark.
To try to help you.
In search
Nope.
of...
In search to see what we can bring you.
I mean, we can try. I feel like I would see through that.
Yeah.
But we can try.
If we phrase it carefully, and she happens to be a Fey being, then we don't get stuck in a contract that we don't want to keep.
Would a Fey being be able to see right through that if it kind of specializes in contracts? I mean, it's not exactly
It's
high intel.
sometimes it's all about the phrasing.
Well, it's worth a shot. I don't like reneging on a contract, so if we can get it written to a point where we...
It's never going to be written, it's always verbalized.
Right, but if we can
Yes.
word it...
Yes. So how does that wording sound? We agree to go into the Underdark to see what we can bring back to you.
Yes. I think that the longer we take, the worse this gets for us. So
Okay.
Let's
Let's
do
go.
Yep.
it. Valchar, are you still next to us?
Mm-mm. I said I was in a building.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna yell out, Valchar, we're going back. And start heading back into the
I
cave.
walk out.
Okay. You guys head back?
Yep.
Yep.
Wisdom saving throw, Anna.
Ding dong.
That's 8.
You feel a weird intrusive
Oh.
feeling.
I felt at that time. Damn
Oh, goody.
Great.
You guys go back. She's not in the same spot, close. Still doing the same thing.
Penny?
Yes, dear.
We, after talking it over, have...
Let me save you some time.
Oh, goody.
There will be no warding or doing anything. There is no line when you enter here, and I pegged you for a smarter bunch, being that I knew your names. Obviously, I know your intentions when you come in here.
Fine, then we would like a good faith scroll. 1 scroll before we go down to prove that you have what we're looking for. Otherwise, the contract is null and void anyways.
As somebody who works on bargains, you have to understand that this would be...
I have to do no such thing. You killed my precious pet.
It
One of
attacked
them.
us.
Your precious pet was
Oh,
an asshole.
one of them.
Well.
Zai, may I just point out, she just said one of them. We're screwed either way.
I heard that.
Well, you are a difficult one. Might I offer you... What is it that you desire? What is it that you want? There are deals that we can come to.
We want scrolls.
No, you don't.
I do.
You don't care. I know you.
She knows
What do
we really
you
want.
want?
I want allies.
I don't think that's true either.
I don't care if you think that's true.
Mr. Broody, there are things that you want. There are things that I can give. There are things that you can give.
I don't want anything that you can give.
Figured as much.
You created a monstrosity to this world. I don't want anything that you can give.
Some consider that a monstrosity, and some consider it beautiful. Taking death and bringing it back in a glorious way.
You call that thing glorious?
Yes.
That thing was stitched together by I don't know how many creatures. You may have been able to bring it back to life and control it, but that thing should not exist in this world.
Okay.
So again, I accept nothing from you.
Well, then why are you here?
For the same reason as everyone else. We have a goal. We were given a task. That task was to bring a scroll back to the True Swords.
Well, I believe I have such scrolls that you were in seek of.
You showed us paper.
She pulls out a scroll and puts it in your... It walks over to you. Puts it into your hand.
What is it?
As much detail as you were given, this looks authentic.
Okay. Is it in what basic?
Common, dwarvish.
Yeah.
It's in what do you read?
I know Infernal and Common.
All right, here's the part where I'm lacking as a new DM. What would it be written in? Would
Common
it be
or dwarvish.
okay?
Could
If
be
it's
Elvish.
Elvish.
Well, if it's
Yeah.
ancient dwarf, yeah. It's probably dwarvish.
Yeah, it would be dwarvish.
Can any of you guys read this?
No.
No.
So you were sent here to find scrolls that you have no idea what it says.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, that's what you're seeking.
Would love to insight check.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, me too.
Nope. That's a 2
10.
plus something or other.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Pretty sure she's telling the truth.
I already have an inherent distrust, so.
How about this? Somebody tell me a lie.
I've forgiven Valchar.
You say and you stop talking after it's just silence. You cannot lie here.
Doesn't mean you can't.
No one can lie here.
If it's exactly what I think it is, you can absolutely lie here.
Oh.
You can do what you can pretend what you want. I'm offering you.
I'm trying to make sure that I actually know this spell.
Zone of Truth.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily
second
have
level.
proof that you can't.
I'm simply asking for you to return to me something in equal compensation which you took from me, and then a fair trade for what I have, for what you can provide. That is all.
How many scrolls do you have?
Enough to satisfy your king.
Do you have the hammer?
Ah, the hammer.
Oh, it's real?
The hammer of the ancients is real.
That was like some in character.
Do you have it or know where it is?
It is such objects are of no importance to me, but I could potentially give you some basic instructions on how to get there. I don't know for sure, but I can give you the best of my ability. But you have to prove to me that it's worth it. That what do I get out of this?
So we would get the scrolls and some scrolls and the knowledge.
The deal
Okay.
was for the scrolls. The replacement is for what you took. The scrolls are for the food. We can come up
Wait.
with something else for the hammer and where it is located.
Do you prefer your food alive or dead?
Obviously alive, but it's not required.
Oh, good. That'd be harder.
If we're gonna make a
Sorry, I hate to say it. I already said okay. And I think that's kind of binding here.
binding for you.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be doing this, I would like to know exactly what we need to get you and exactly what we're getting in return.
Fair.
So what you just need a recently deceased corpse from the Underdark, and you will give us scrolls.
3.
3 scrolls.
No.
3 bodies.
3 monsters of the Underdark. To recreate my glorious pet.
Do you care what the creatures are?
They just need to be of significant size. I can make that work.
We may have to bring those to you one at a time. I'm kind of the only one who can carry heavy things.
Suit yourself.
What do you consider significant size? I want to make sure we're on the same page here. Bigger than me? Same size as me?
Larger than you. Think of the parts that made up the creature that... She looks away, kind of somewhat distraught. That you destroyed and took from me.
And what if you don't mind, I'd like to make the deal now for the hammer as well. What would you want for it?
Well, she looks over at Wick.
That's not on the table, unfortunately.
Fine. Somewhere between... Well, how about this? You bring me 4 dwarves.
No.
Alive or dead?
Either or. Instead of no consequence. And to make it even better, I know where you can find some.
alive or dead?
Oh, they're plenty alive right now.
Well, we know where we can find alive dwarves.
Well, if that's what you wish, but there are some here that you could acquire for me.
And what about to get the scrolls?
3
How much do
creatures.
we need to get? No, that was for to remake the pet that we killed.
Well, I need before giving you the scrolls, I will need both conditions met, and you will have both rewards. You will have my gratitude and forgiveness for destroying my creature, and I will give you all the scrolls that I have that will satisfy your king.
And what about the knowledge for the hammer? There are 3 things that we're looking for from you. Forgiveness for our transgressions,
Forgiveness and safety.
which you had already agreed to. If we remade your pet, we would be allowed to wander through the city unharmed.
You can take whatever you want. I've already taken everything that I want.
Okay. And so that's 3 monsters from the Underdark for that one. You said 4 dwarves would get us the information for the hammer, or is that for the scrolls?
That would be for the scrolls. And because I'm such a nice lady, I will give you the information for the hammer if everyone agrees.
Before we can all agree, you have to understand that we are not the type that would go and kill a bunch of dwarves. We'd be more than happy to find you recently deceased. I'm pretty sure that we'd be able to work that out.
Do they have to be regular dwarves, or could they be the dark dwarves?
Well, they would be
Which are bigger?
enemies to you for joining the clan that you are choosing.
Wraithbanes.
Well, see, I sort of have a deal in place for the Wraithbanes, as you like to say. So I cannot act upon that. I cannot take them. But individuals such as yourselves
That's what I thought.
can enact in however you please.
And you don't care how we accomplish these things?
I guess it's of no consequence to me. As long as I get what I deserve. What I need.
So 4 dead dwarves and 3 creatures of the Underdark, larger than me.
Recent. We can't have them being decayed. I would prefer live, but within a couple hours is acceptable.
Belcher's leaning against the cave wall.
If we come back with only the 3 creatures from the Underdark,
We don't get the scroll or the information.
we don't
about
get the
hammer.
scrolls or the information for the hammer, but we do get safe passage, correct? It's not an all or nothing deal.
With their extremely long fingers, she goes across her chin. Bring me back to remake my creature, my pet, my beloved. You can wander around the city,
Unharmed.
unharmed. Unless you attack one of my pets.
If they attack us.
Well, they will be instructed not to.
Okay.
Where are these dwarves?
I will give you instructions if you agree. They're not far. And trust me, you will want to take care of these dwarves.
Are those dwarves in the Underdark also?
The dwarves are close into the city as we speak.
They're after the
Partially
same thing
towards.
we are. Which means technically we could just leave them for you to have.
No, because I already explained this.
Oh, right. You can't take them. They're Wraithmanes.
Alright. I say that we agree on these one at a time. We'll take care of the Underdark creatures first.
The dwarves seem a little more pressing as they're here.
And if any of you wish to have additional power, a deal could be cut for that as well.
I believe I'm already spoken for.
I'd be interested to hear the deal.
What is it that, again, what is it that you desire?
Wealth, weapons.
I could give you a great weapon.
What's the price?
It will be part of your soul, or a future request that you will be able to complete, because we will be in touch.
I'm spoken for. I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to give anything I have away.
It's not a good idea to owe somebody
I
this
know.
powerful.
I'm gonna have to pass, unfortunately. If I change my mind,
I'll be here.
I know where to find you. So, I'm willing to agree if everyone else is. Hate to say it, but options don't really seem plentiful at the moment.
I unfortunately already agreed.
Well, I said I need all of you to agree.
I know. I just said I've already
Anna?
acquiesced.
I'm okay with going into the Underdark.
What about the other part?
That's not something I'm willing to agree with, too. At least
Then
not
we don't
yet.
get the hammer.
Or the scrolls.
Or the scrolls.
Or a safe passage.
Hey, the safe passage was for the Underdark thing.
You agree to it all, or you agree to none of it?
There we go. It's all or none.
We're either allies in this, and to be quite honest, you were starting to bore me at first. You showed up and it was intriguing. All of this chatter. The dwarves call me by my nickname of the Wise, and you are starting to bore me.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's not good.
Well, you have my answer.
Do I?
I'm willing to go through with it if everyone else does.
Sounds like that's two of you.
You already have my answer.
Of no.
Correct.
Which means we lose.
No. The other three could barter you for food if they're willing to. Would be acceptable to me. It's up to you.
I also say no. I was willing to do just the Underdark part of it. But if it's all or nothing, then my answer is no. I'm not an assassin without good cause.
They're enemies of your true swords.
For 30 days.
They're clan rivals. They're not
Enemies.
the same.
Well, are you willing to do what's required? Or not? Are you strong or are you weak? Seems like two of you are strong. Know what you need, know what you want. Two of you are not.
Sounds like a no. We've said our piece.
Do you have proof of these dwarves' misdeeds?
What?
She's looking for a reason to be able to kill them.
Well, they're Underdark dwarves and wraithbanes. What more would you want?
Just their identity is not good enough for me.
The Underdark dwarves, you know.
Belcher starts walking back up the cave mouth. I'm done here.
Fine.
I'm sorry we couldn't come to a mutual beneficial agreement.
Well, the two of you would ever like additional powers.
You know where to find me.
me. We'll be in touch. This is not the last time we will speak.
Talk to you then. Start walking out also.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I rolled a nat 1 on my will save.
I do a polite like goodbye, Penny, and then walk. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It's actually Penny the Wise.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Pennywise. Face paint, red hair. No? Okay, my bad.
I'm glad one of you caught it. Put a lot of time to that one.
We encounter anything on our way out?
Excuse you, not everybody's left yet.
Yeah, Wick hasn't left.
Do I encounter anything on my way out?
No?
Me.
Do you wish to make a deal?
You've already taken information from me, so I feel it's only fair you give some in return.
I've given you plenty of information.
Nothing that I want.
What is it that you want?
Oh, I'm sure you know, but I'll say it. Do you know where Julia is?
Who?
You've seen into my mind, so you know who Julia is. I'm looking for her.
Oh, child.
Not a kid.
In comparison.
Several hundred years.
Just go with your friends or stay and be with me.
I'm not food. You stole information from me. You owe all of us.
I owe you nothing. You intruded in my home.
You welcomed us in. Wick turns around and leaves.
To be fair, you gave her your name. It's not
Yeah, that one's your fault.
That's on you.
She knew it before.
Alright, and that's where we're going to go for break. So, yeah. We will be back probably in 10-15 minutes.
When she called you Mr. Broody, all I could think of was Broody, 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 walking everywhere. Broody, Broody, I found you, Mr. Broody.
I can't
Get
click
it
at
Get
the
it
break
together.
until the end of that.